Yo, 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 guys, what is up? What is up? Dar is back. Microphone a little bit there. There we go. Alright, guys, so we are back with Star Trek Online. And this is my main. This is Tigranis. I'm wearing the sash. I think I got that sash. I think we got the sash from the Next Generation anniversary a while back when Worf was on the holodeck on Earth Space Dock. You went and talked to him and listened to a story or some shit, and then you got some free stuff. I don't know. I don't really remember. It's been quite a little bit. Okay, but yeah, he's wearing, what is that? That's the Enterprise show top, you know, with a little bit different color. All right, in case people were wondering what uniform is he wearing. All right, yeah, because I had to remember, because I used to have the pretty much the same colors. I just had the shoot, what was it? The Mirror Universe from the original series on here. Alright, so anyway, moving right along. Guys, I said the next video was going to cover, you know, my spec, or at least the spec I use. And, you know, I primarily play an engineer, you know, mostly built around being able to take damage, but I do play a lot of solo stuff. And I play a lot of random, or what is it, pick up, you know, random people with the, you know, STFs, pickup groups, whatever, using the group finder. I do a lot of that. So you know, I pretty much play like I want to be able to take a lot of damage, but I want to be able to dish out, you know, a bit too. You know, I don't want to be a rock that can't do nothing but take damage, you know, because you're playing by yourself a lot of times. You want to be able to dish something out. So I figure we would go over what I have personally found so far to be the best spec, at least for me. Now, I have not used this. I did not find this spec on any website. I haven't done, you know, theory crafting. You know, I haven't done nothing. This is just me and what I have found, you know, from playing the game. All right, so let's go over here and find our spec. Alright, let's go to skills. Alright, so here is the skill window. I wonder if I can enlarge it a little bit. Make it a little bit bigger here. There we go. Oh, now it's real big. Okay, that'll work. Alright, we'll go down. We're just going to go down the lines here. Now I max out. The first one I max out here is Starship Weapons Training. We click on it. Yeah, this skill improves your starship's weapon damage, including all energy and projectile damage. So, real good for DPS. I don't use attack patterns, you know, hardly ever. So, I don't put any skills in those. Alright, so let's move on down here. I skip driver coil. You know, because that just improves your warp speed, you know, and a little bit of turn rate. But, I use mostly cruisers. And, on my science officer, I use the, carrier. So, yeah, you don't have a good turn rate any damn way. You're only going to improve it a little damn bit. When you can put those points somewhere, you know, you would have more fun with them. Or they would fit better to your playstyle. If your playstyle is anything like mine. Alright, Starship Hull Repair. A must. Because I want to survive in a fight. And by using skills like this, it allows me to change out some of my bridge officer crews. You know, when I started playing the game, I ran almost all just different kinds of healing for my shields and hull. Well, I have since kind of started changing that up a bit because of the fact that, you know, if you skill right, if you know, put your points in properly or wherever, you know, whatever, then your crew will repair the ship fairly quickly. So I won't have to use those, you know, big heals unless, you know, it's really low and I'm about to die. You know, as long as I keep my shields up and my hull is at least, say, 20%, then I'm usually okay. So yeah, I definitely put it there. Now I did put 1 point into flow capacitors. Mainly, I needed a point to unlock the next tier, so I put it there. Now this does, you know, improves your starship shield and energy drain abilities, which come in good for science abilities. You know, the higher the skill, the more your abilities drain or add to your shield target. So that would be for with transfer shield strength, which transfer excuse me, Is it that, or maybe it's extend shields? But it takes your shields and, you know, boost ally shields. Okay, so starship shield emitters. You know, I'm usually taking a lot of damage or a lot of hits, so I definitely do this. Now there is a skill on here called threat control or something like that that draws threat to you, and I used to use that a lot, but I have since taken that off because when I was using it, I was constantly dying because I had all those points stuffed into it, and I had to take away from points that would, you know, frankly, you know, do really well keeping me alive, as well as letting me do damage. So I had to get away from that. And also, with the spec I have now, I don't have any points into that, but I still draw the damage most of the time. Most of the time, I'm the one, you know, getting the attention. So it, you know, it doesn't really matter on that, but it does matter in the fact that those points that were in there now help me survive. So shield emitters. Now this skill, you know, improves all shield repair and healing abilities. So when you use science team, you use reroute power to shields, anything like that. Just, I mean, you can go from no shields to almost full shields, depending on, of course, you know, which skill you're using to boost those shields. Real quick, I'll just run all the way across my engineering on the ground because I don't play ground very often. I mainly, you know, stick with, you know, space missions and STFs, things like that. But on the ground, I do play a fabrication engineer. You know, so I went with demolitions, almost maxed out. Mainly I just pretty much forget about ground because I really don't give a damn about the ground because I hardly ever do it. And when I do ground, I mainly let my bots do most of the fighting, and then I, you know, replenish shields and lay my turrets down and stuff. You know, but that's regular one-man missions. Alright, so anyway, demolitions, you know, it helps graviton mine, transphasic field, and orbital strike. I do use orbital strike, so I use that one from time to time, you know, so that does help a little bit. PS generator, you know, that improves the hit points of all of the ground. Provides this. Damn it, if I could talk. You know, helps the hit points, the shield hit points for all of my ground turret thingies. Generators. You know, this increases performance, which would be pretty much the damage, shields, hit points, the whole 9 yards. So this is really well. Or really good. I do like this one. Now, this does give you the ability to, what is that, train bridge officers and cover shield too. I hate cover shield. Cover shield is more of a pain in the ass than it is actually helpful. Because once you lay a cover shield down, you know, the enemy has to walk around the shield or, you know, move to another position so they can get flank on you to shoot you through the cover shield. Or around the cover shield. Well, that's great. But you can't do anything, you know, in front of that cover shield either. So, you know, it works both ways. Now, if it was, you know, like a one-way thing, it blocked incoming fire, but you can still shoot through it, that would be cool. But that's not the way it works. Turrets and drones, self-explanatory. Again, improves all of those. And combat armor improves my own character's armor. Alright, so let's move up to our Lieutenant Commander slot. Starship energy weapons, of course, maxed out. Improves the damage done by all energy weapons. That includes beams and cannons. Projectile weapons, same thing. You know, improves all torpedo and mine damage. I don't use mines too horribly often, but I will on occasion. Especially on a ship that's slow and can't turn worth a damn. Sometimes I will use mines. If you know, it depends a lot on the mission and stuff I'm doing. Structural integrity, again, another must to improve your starship's hull. I did put one into subsystem repair. Usually it doesn't matter because I'll hit like hazard emitter or something, or tactical team, you know, depending on what's been used on me, and get rid of that shit any damn way. But I need to stick a point somewhere, so there it is. Starship core efficiency. Now this, you know, really helps because it increases the power level to all of your systems. So me, as you know, Tigeranus here as an engineer, I play tank most of the time, right? So I need to be able to keep my shields up. But being who I am and the way I like to play, I also like to crank out a lot of damage. So what I'll do is I'll crank all my power up to or up on my weapons, and then with this skill combined with the fact that I'm an engineer, I get roughly about 98% energy rating on my shields, even though I've got 100 plus. I think it's 125 on my weapons, because I have this extra skill which gives me, you know, more power than you would stay stock. Alright. Again, Starship shield systems, another no-brainer. You know, this helps your starship's shield strength. The higher the skill, the more hit points your ship shields will have. So, you know, I mean, that increases your shields, makes your shield stronger beyond what the shield you slot into your starship says you will have. So, again, a no-brainer. Starship maneuvers. Alright, now this skill increases your starship's value the higher... Okay, so it increases your defense. And the higher your defense, the harder you are to hit. So you can, you know, others can counter this, you know, by improving their accuracy. However, I don't play a lot of PvP in this game, so it doesn't, you know, bots don't have, you know, phenomenal accuracy or anything. So this really helps with your survival. I do wish I could play, you know, a lot of PvP in this game. I used to when the game came out, because PvP was awesome in this game. I loved it. But apparently not a lot of people do, so the queues to get into PvP are just horrible, which is why I don't get to play it very often. Starship Electroplasma Systems. Now, again, this is another filler, and a lot of these fillers, you know, you can put in anywhere you please. This is just where I chose to put it, and it helps with my starship power transfer. Now, this is a skill you will probably want to max out if you are a what is that? Daggone it, my brain is just not working tonight. If you're a tactical officer. Because, like, if you use cannon volley, rapid fire, beam overload, that drains a lot of your power from your weapons. And if you have this maxed out, it decreases the time it takes for that power to get back into your weapons. And not what I'm talking about by that. I'm talking about when you're in space and you have that little icon down here at the bottom, you know, with all your gauges of, you know, powers and weapon shields. That's what I mean. As an engineer, you know, we can use EPS flow regulators, and we have a space ability. EPS, I think it's EPS flow regulator or something like that. That, you know, raises everything. So that's a really good one. All right, Starship Impulse Thrusters. So, when you're running carriers and you are running cruisers, this will help with your turn rate and stuff in battle. Unlike the skill we looked at up here, where was it? The driver coil. This one helps a lot more than what the driver coil did. Okay, I completely lost my place. Where were we? Darn. Warp core? Yeah. Shit, I completely lost my place. Oh, we were over here. Warp core efficiency. Okay. Yeah, so this one. No, it's this one. Shit. Okay, I'm going to pause here and find out where the hell I was. Okay, it didn't take long. Yeah, it's right here. Starship Impulse Thrusters. You know, now I don't have it maxed out because I wanted to use the points elsewhere. But this really, really helps in combat when, you know, when you're flying the heavier, the bigger ships. Things like the Odyssey, the Katrin, whatever, the Federation carrier. The Cathars or whatever make. Yeah, that ship has a, I mean, just tremendously shitty ass turn rate. The Odyssey has a, I believe the same turn rate, just really shitty. I personally, my main ship, which I'm not using currently, I think this is just one of my dick off ships. Yeah, that's one of the free ones you get, the Star Cruiser. I just got a different skin on it. But yeah, the main ship I use is my Federation, what is it, the Galaxy with the saucer separation. And I use that because I really like that ship. And it doesn't have, it's not as bad as the Odyssey and all that, but yeah, it's still pretty bad, and that helps a ton. And yeah, I got the one with the saucer separation. I love that ship. I don't know why, I just really do. Anyway, moving right along here. The Starship Warp Core Potential. Now this again is going to help your power ratings. Which is something a lot of people overlook, especially if you're new to the game. You start firing off all these abilities, and then you look down and wait a minute, my weapon power is like almost nothing. What happened? A lot of people don't even look at it. Well, this is why. It's something you really got to look at. Especially like if you notice, if you go into a battle at, say, full impulse, and all your power's down to nothing, and you start firing off your weapons, and which everybody does in these STS and these PvE missions you queue for. Everybody just full impulse right into the battle. Dude, you're a fucking idiot. Stop doing that. Don't do that. I full impulse to about 15 to 14 meters or whatever the distance there, however that's measured out from my targets, and then I slow down to half impulse, so I got what 4 to 5 more meters, kilometers, kilometers, whatever. I think it's kilometers from the target. So that gives me, it gives my shield power and weapon power and everything time to come back up before I engage. It takes you another, might add a minute to your battle. But, yeah, it adds a lot longer if you run in there and you get frickin' owned because you were an R-tard. I'm just saying. Let's see, Starship Particle Generators. This does not affect anything with our offense or defense abilities as far as energy and torpedo goes. You can see the list here. It affects mainly all your science vessels, like Gravity Well I use sometimes, Tychon's Rift I use sometimes, Photonic Shockwave I don't use at all. Feedback Pulse, I've just started using that. I kind of like it. Especially helps if you're trying to keep damage on yourself, because every time that hits you, you automatically do damage to everything that's hitting you. So if you're in an AoE situation, it's really good to keep, it's really great to keep stuff on yourself. Eject Warp Plasma is a skill I really like, but it doesn't work for me. Because I don't really like the small escort ships. I have a tactical officer. Even on my tactical officers, I don't like the smallest ships because they have no survivability. I've even tried using the same spec I'm showing you here from my engineer on them, and it still doesn't help a whole hell of a lot. So, I try to stick with the larger ships. Even on my tactical officer, I still use an Odyssey or the Ambassador or something to, because they're more fun. I like those ships better. I do have the Prometheus with the separation. I forget what they call it now. The multi-vector assault mode. I have that one, but I don't use it very often, just because it's fragile as hell. But it is fun when you separate and you get all the little bots. That's kind of cool. All right, moving along here. I did skip stealth because I'm not stealthy. If I was on the Klingon side using a bird of prey a lot, then yeah, I would definitely go for that. Threat control. This is the one I was talking about that makes everybody attack you. Well, I don't want that, so. See, it increases your threat and gives you damage resistance, but the damage resistance was nil, compared to taking those points and putting them in other areas. So it just wasn't worth it, especially considering, like I said earlier, I still generate threat. Everybody still says, "Oh, look, Dart, let's fucking kill him!" So there you go. Alright, so, engine performance. We like this one. Remember, we always want our engines up, we want our power, or our weapons up, and we want our shields up. So, yeah, here we go. Now, you do want your auxiliary up a bit, and I think maybe we'll do another video on power settings and stuff later, because even if you're not a science officer, your auxiliary power can be quite important, depending on your situation. But anyway, we're going to get back here. The Starship Engine Performance. Now, this skill grants you a flat bonus to engine power. The more points you have, the better your engine performance. So again, this is going to increase your power settings, especially to your engines, which is really nice, because if you're pouring all your power into weapons and shields like I do, I usually set my engines at like 25%, which is as low as you can go. Well, with this skill and this warp core potential, my engine power is still around 50-60% because I'm getting that extra boost, which is why these boosts help a lot. It's power, Starship hull plating, another no-brainer. This skill increases, your starship's damage resistance to energy weapons. I had a friend, me and him jumped in a PvP match, one-on-one. I was on my Galaxy. He knocked my shields down in 30 seconds. He's running, tactical, and he's a phenomenal tactical player. And I told him, I said, turn on, replace your torpedoes. I want to see what happens. So he replaces torpedoes because he does have a ship where he has all energy weapons. I don't know how the hell he does it, people. I do not understand it, but he can go in STS and PvP and everything and just annihilate people with nothing but energy. I can't do that. I got to have my torpedoes, but he can do it. So we got in there and he knocked my shields down. I mean, in just a millisecond, bam, they were gone. He couldn't kill me though. I mean, I did nothing. I did no counters, no nothing. I just sat there. And he'd get me down to, like 98% hull rating. Within a millisecond, it'd be right back up. So, he couldn't do nothing. And it was phenomenal. And it was because of skills like this. So, yeah, these are no-brainers. Starship hull or shield performance. Again, grants you a flat bonus power to your shields. So, like I said before, I poured all my weapons in energy, but yeah, I'm still getting great shield performance because of this. And things like this. And that's just the way it works. I got nothing here in the science abilities for Admiral or Captain. Now, on the Admiral slot, I want more shit out of the Admiral slot. I want to be able to max more shit out. But I can't because I don't have the skill points. That's just the way the cookie crumbled there. Starship's energy weapon specialization. Again, increases the damage done by my phasers, disruptors, whatever it is I'm firing. All my energy weapons. Same thing again with our projectile weapons. Now, we've already got it back here, right? Back in Lieutenant Commander. So we're already getting maxed out here, increasing my energy weapons. And then we're going to increase it again up here at Admiral. So yeah, I should be doing some pretty good damage just firing my auto, just auto fire phasers. Same thing here. Now they're not maxed out, they're at 6 of 9, but that's all I gotta, that's all the points I had. Excuse me. Alright, let's see here. We have Starship Armor Reinforcements. Improves Starship kinetic damage resistance. So when my shields go down, and I get hit with those volleys of quantum torpedoes or Tricobalt. I got a friend that uses all kinds of Tricobalt shit. It just owns your ass in like 15 seconds. It's insane. But I mean, he fires off everything and you're dead. That's it. Just bam. You turn to dust. But this, definitely no-brainer. Absolutely helps. Starship Auxiliary Performance. I did put a couple points in here. And I would like to have more in here. Because again, I told you, auxiliary power has its place for everybody. It doesn't just affect science systems or science abilities. It also helps your hull repair rate. It helps turning ability a little. It helps, well, of course, all your science abilities. And we all use some science. This has a place for everybody. And I would like to have more in it, but I just don't have the points. Starship Weapon Performance. There's my DPS, like I said, I want to be a rock I can do damage. So again, we're increasing, our ability to do damage with, those phasers and torpedoes. And that's all we got, ladies and gentlemen. That is my spec. That is what I have found so far to be the best spec for my playstyle. Now, I did say something in a previous video. These are my bridge officers over here. Let's take a quick look. Here's my Riemann. We got the Riemann. This is the Borg science officer you get from Kittimer Accord if you run into the assimilation chamber and die. Okay, this is the one you get from the pre-order. I think you can get it from the C-store now. Actually, when I got them, all my characters automatic on the Federation side, because I didn't get it for the Klingon side for some reason. But all of my, like if I make a new one, like you seen when I made Dar, I got her automatically. But now you can buy her, and I think she's a character unlock now instead of a, you know, what, account wide unlock. And you could sell her, and she sells for quite a bit. Okay, and then I got Riker here, which is my Breen. Tactical. Riker was, you know, a tactical, kinda. He was first officer, but he was tactical. Shut up. It works. Alright. Now, I said I wasn't going to do this. I got Science 1. I got Wharf 1. Oh, okay. Why do I have Wharf 1? Probably because I'm using him as a tactical, because I need to buy another tactical, I think. But Engineer 1, Engineer 3, you know, the reason why I did this is you'll notice I got them all human. And some of them are white, you know, some of them are, I don't know about on this character. Some of them might be blue, some of them might be purple. You know, there's a blue one. And the reason I got them, okay, is I got to learn this from another YouTuber. And I'm not going to say his name because, you know, hey, you ain't plugging me, I'm plugging you, fucker. Alright, so, anywho, this is what he does. And I was completely against it because it kind of takes me out of the immersion of the game a little bit. But, you know, with humans you get leadership. There's only 2 races in the entire fracking game that come with space abilities. That's humans and then this one Borg you get from the C-store. You can get it from the C-store now. This Borg, however, does not have any space inherent abilities. You know, this is all ground shit that he gets. So I don't know why he doesn't get, he doesn't get, what is it, efficient? See, she gets efficient, which increases all starship warp power efficiency. Again, giving us more power. And she gets it, but he doesn't. I don't know why that is. They're both Borg. I know he's a newer version of the Borg, but still. Alright, and then let's go over here at humans. The humans get leadership. Now, that inspires your crew, leading to system failure and hull repairs. So, again, yeah, it helps your system, you know, like if you get systems knocked out, so forth. But the reason I got it, hull repair. Increase that hull repair, you know, like right there at the bottom, 20%. Now, if we look here, this is a white quality officer, you know, a common officer. So let's look down here. Like I said, I got a blue. Look at hers. It's only 20%. So there's no need to go buy purples on the auction house if you get the exact same thing out of a white. Spend less money. And the reason why I did that is because A, I want those bonuses, and B, the reason, like Engineer 1. Okay, well, if I go over here, I know Engineer 1's always going to go in the first engineering slot. If I didn't have the, I always use the Borg. Always use the Borg. Always use the Borg. So, I guess I need to be changed to Engineer 2, doesn't it? Because I have 1 and 3. Yeah, I need to change that to 2. So let's pretend it says 2. So he would always go in the second engineering slot. Science 1, science will always go in the first science slot. Science 2 will always go in the second science slot. I will have a Science 3 for my carriers. So, and that one will always go in a third science slot. It's just quick and easy. So, yeah, I kind of agreed with that after thinking about it for a while and have decided to go with that. And you see here for my ground officers, you know, again, still using my Borg. I'm actually using both my Borg. Using my Breen, and I'm using the Riemann. And occasionally, just for shits and giggles, I will change out the Riemann and bring in the Jem'Hadar. Although, I do not like the Jem'Hadar. And I'll tell you why. They have really good skills here, right? You know, they have, you know, Stubborn, which increases resistances. You know, Health Peak, of course, gives them, you know, more damage, or more health. And they resist toxic damage, which would be poison. Let's see, Engineered Soldier. You know, look at all that. Yeah, +5 to damage, melee, and ranged. 3% damage to critical chances, or 3% to critical chance, and 5% to critical severity. Very good skills. I love this. This is the reason why I do not like this character. Shroud. Ground trait allows you to cloak and greatly increase the damage of your first few attacks coming out of cloak. that works. But he does it way, way, way too much. Fights are quick now, and he will cloak 2 or 3 times. So all that time he could be doing damage, he cloaks and runs all the way back to me. It's fracking retarded, and it annoys the ever-loving piss out of me. With that said, I do still use him from time to time just because I like variety. I like to change it up. That's why I have God knows how many damn ships, and they're all, I think, on this character, I think they're all equipped and ready to go. Yeah, so I don't have to change out shit on them except the stations here. So yeah, that's why I use him. That's why I got him. I much rather prefer the Breen to the Jem'Hadar for tactical. That's just me. And matter of fact, I would love if I had a Borg tactical. I think that would be awesome, but they're not in here. So anyway, guys, that is that. This video was not very entertaining, and I do apologize for that. But this is a build that I have found that has worked really well for me, especially for the engineers. I do use this build almost exactly with a few modifications for my engineer, and I use a little bit more modification to it for my tactical, but again, they're all no-brainers. And for the most part, all my specs are pretty much the same as this. I want that survivability, and I want that damage. That's about it. So until next time, guys. Oh, and I will add in that when I run my carrier, all those, when I changed, because I think I saw my science officer, I changed a lot of abilities over into what I did on this character, improving those energy and projectile weapons. Well, when I took her out for the first time after that, with my carrier, because that's what she uses as her main ship, is the carrier, I noticed all of my fighters' damage increased dramatically. I mean, you have once you launch those fighters, you have a lot of energy weapons out there. You have a lot of torpedoes flying around out there, and yeah, those bonuses to the weapons and stuff helped her on her carrier a lot more than it helped Tigranes here on his on his big command ships. It was awesome. So anyway, guys, we're going to cut the video here. We're running at 32 minutes. It is Saturday night, and I got a lot of beer to drink. So until next time, guys, remember, comment, rate, and subscribe. Help us grow. Help us get these videos out. Spread the word. Let everybody know the love. And I will see you in game.